Okay, hello everybody. It's MZ here. Welcome to PUPL Tiebreak Gaming. We have LPZ versus Drud and Black White PU. This is the first of the three tiebreak games of the Mad City Magmortars versus the Goofy Goobers. And right now I'm all alone, but in theory, some people should join. At least one. I mean, you can't. It's law. Okay, hang on. I have to let someone else into the call. So let's see. Server said, yeah. This is going to take a moment. Yeah, here we go. Because I wasn't going to record this, and then Skrimps was like, "Okay, I'll join." I'm like, "All right, fine." So we'll see if I can how many I get. Okay, try now. Wonderful. Okay, so LPZ obviously super known for Black White PU. This is like his tier. This is his thing. He has a very solid 5-2, 6-2 record this tournament, something like that. 5-2, which is maybe not exactly where he wanted to be, but pretty respectable losses, and did win in the semifinals so far against Neomon. Neomon, like 2-6 in this tournament. So for the tiebreak, he was taken out for Drud, who has been best of threeing this tour. Very respectable, very solid 5-3 there. But Drud has a good black white history as well. Just that wasn't his focus until now. Looking at the teams, we've got two separate balances. Drud is leaning a bit fatter. We've got the spikes. We've got probably some phasing on Zweilous, either Roar or Dragon Tail, whereas LPZ leans a little bit more offensive. Uh, Aside from the bronze one, like it's quite offensive, but could be a fat Leafeon, could be like maybe a fat Whiscash. Although LPZ likes Specs Whiscash, it's like kind of one of his signature mons, in my opinion. So that's probably what I would expect to see. And still no join. Nope. Tag him. Told him. Oh, here he is. He's just not talking at all, but he's in the call. Scrimps, if
What
you
am I
are
supposed to talk? You just went on and on about the matchup. I was giving you some time there to cook.
my bad. I didn't know you were here, so just like I guess I'm gonna cover the matchup before we start. Well, welcome, welcome
It
to
worked. I think you hit on most of it well. LPZ is like the Don Father of Black White PU. He's not unbeatable, but he's damn hard to beat. And then Drud is just good at slotting into anything. Like he's played Black White previously. I think he's helped others to build for it. It's going to be a good matchup. The LPZ team is a recycle. He's brought that before. I think he might have just replaced the Zweilous with a Stoutland. Um, the cash is definitely Specs.
Okay.
The Grumpig is Scarf.
We're 100% sure it's Specs Cash.
I mean, that thing was murdering Pokemon with Hydro Pump last time I watched this team in
Yeah.
action. So I'm going
I
to assume
I
that
was
it's
I
Specs.
was pretty sure. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I know he likes that as well. But he's brought this team before. He just replaced the Zweilous with Stoutland, which I guess is probably fair if you're content with Bronzor and Grumpig checking the Psychic and Whiscash checks Zipstrika. It's not a whole lot of need for the Dark Dragon.
yeah, I think that's fine.
Um,
Although I like the main reason I was thinking it because Dragon Dance Whiscash might have been more threatening in this game just because Specs is like 50-50 between a lot of stuff. So far though, I really like Drud's
fair.
opening. He's got rocks, he got spikes, and a burn on the Stoutland is nice because its only move that's going to be any good now is Facade, which you have Bronzor for, and that chip is just going to keep whittling it down. There's no chance it can like frustration the Bronzor on a switch in, maybe force it to rest or anything like that. So not
No, but he might
not
have. I think he has Facade, right? So
yeah, he has Facade, but he has to Facade into Bronzor instead of like superpowering that on a switch, like I said. So
yeah,
that's
that's fair. Facade's doing like 20% max.
yeah. If
Um,
you if you
Drud's in a
status
good spot.
Stoutland and you don't have a normal resist, it's like really bad. But if you status Stoutland and you do have one that didn't want to get superpowered, it's very good. So
Yeah, Bronzor is, I mean, the safety net of this tier a little bit.
mm,
But Drud seems to be in a pretty good spot, right? I think it depends on what his R box set is on when he decides to kind of pull the trigger there. Um, and then Simisear, I mean, you're going to get stuffed by the Grumpig, maybe the Monferno a little bit, but mostly the Grumpig, unless he's, subplot
mm.
Salac,
Or
which very
Acro.
well could be the case on
I've
spikes.
been running Acros this year. That's not as common. Okay, it is the defensive.
You said
Leafeon.
acro?
I've been running Acro Semi-Series, yeah, just Flying Gem. You know, the
I
same
think
way
that's
Simi
fair.
Stations.
Yeah, yeah. I think we've built that together previously. Because I know superpower can also be a vibe to hit Xylus. I just think the most threatening set with the spikes up is going to be the plot select cleanup.
Hmm.
I don't think that LPZ is going to have a solution to that, assuming that um,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
It
It
depends on the wind
really,
power. I guess you would still go electric without Swanna because tentacles around.
yeah.
Put a
Yeah,
plus two fire
it
blast
still
on
depends on the
Swanna.
set. Like you have three fire resists. Maybe one of them does a good job checking it. I did just find an interesting stat though. I double checked, and the last time I think LPZ brought this team to a tournament, except for maybe just like a random black. If he was in Black White PU Cup, I didn't check that, but like the last time in a team tournament would have been the last tiebreak he was in for PU.
Or go against you.
Yeah, against me. That was when it was still Zweilis, but yeah, for PU, what do we call it? The other tournament.
The blind draft.
Blind draft, that's it. PUBG. Yeah. Oh, it's leftovers Whiscash now. That's interesting. That's different, right? It used to be specs.
Used to be specs. I mean, it makes sense if you're going to flip your Spadef wall into a Stoutland,
Yeah.
then you kind of have to bank on Whiscash to beat your Zeb check. I'd be
Yeah.
curious to see what he's
I
got though. If
was
it's like a sub three attacks, you kind of bank on that fat HP stat.
I was worried about Dragon Dance, but if you're leftovers and not natural gift, then Dragon Dance is not gonna be breaking Maractus. Um, could
He
be
could be bounced.
could be bounce, I guess.
He
I
could
don't
be
know
bounced.
if I rate bounce very highly,
I wouldn't personally be bounced, but he could be bounced.
especially if you're not like T spikes or something to get a little chip on those turns.
Yeah, you can use
I
the
wonder
turns.
if Arbok could be Seed Bomb here. That could KO a no bulk Whiscash, but if it's got any level of fat, any level of physical defense, then probably not.
Okay.
Okay, so it is still
So yeah,
special.
this is gonna be like three attacks, sub or toxic, something in the last slot.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
I would assume sub just because you get a free sub on Zeb every time it comes in.
yeah. Okay, and does go for the fast ice beam, which if Maractus took 26 from Earth Power, it was almost certainly dropping. Uh, so good switch to Bronzor here. You have to wonder if that's like max modest Whiscash, it could maybe force a rest here with a Hydro or something. And that's kind of like LPZ to make progress might need to get this Bronzor like sleeping and not doing anything because right now he's just having a hard time breaking this fat core here. It's not ideal.
And I think it's evident just because he doesn't have a setup mod, as I can see. You're really relying on that Stoutland to break open the opponent.
Yeah.
U-turn on Monferno is going to imply no Swords Dance. The Whiscash doesn't have space. Grumpig is Scarf. Leafeon revealing the Wish. I mean, that mod's not going to click Swords Dance. So he's going to have some trouble breaking. But
It actually can't be Source Dance because it showed a baton pass. Literally be
oh,
illegal.
you can baton pass a Swords Dance.
Oh,
It's
in
just
this that's right.
no boosting and speed
In
together.
this gen, it's not boosting in speed. It's not no boosting at all. I've been playing more ADV recently, so I'm getting them a
That's
little
fair.
mixed
They're
up.
trying to kill every aspect of baton pass in the ADV metas.
Yeah. Okay. Skipped away. So it did force a rest. You guys saw this. I wasn't looking. I just wanted to see 22 with Scald is not very strong. And Grumpig does try to pick up a trick, and that's a really good Arbok from Drud. Um, obviously, if your fat core is just walling out the team, you just got these four, then you don't want anyone important taking a trick like that. Now the question is, do you go for the speed tie here? Because I believe after trick he could now psychic. Okay, so Drud is going
This
to
does switch. Yeah, when you swap the choice items, it's basically just a reset.
Huh.
But
Tough for
this is a
LBC.
great position for Drud, to be honest.
Every because every interaction you get wrong. That's another rock and spike on the Grumpig. And this is the toxic, so can't even get that little bit of pressure on the Zweilous, even though it's almost certainly rest. And yeah, this looks bad. This looks
I
bad.
mean, he does have an out of Dragon Tail missing. Hustle Dragon Tail is not
Oh,
consistent.
that defense drop is going to force a rest right here. Um, which is potentially like the only time Simi Seer gets any good setup chances. Maybe on Leafeon as well. Okay, Dragon Tail Miss is nice. Just give you more time to burn your sleep talk turns. Nope, never mind. Hard Leaf. You were almost dead. I
It
don't.
depends on that semi-seer set, right? But I think he's LPZ might be fine with as much chip on Grumpig as I guess Drud feels is necessary, so long as the Grumpig is still alive to click Psychic.
But I mean, now that his Wishmon is dead, I don't. I don't think this is fine. Even if Simi Seer does absolutely nothing, this doesn't seem good. What do you
Oh, it's
do?
definitely not good. I'm trying to be optimistic about LPC's chances here, but
Uh,
this is one of those teams that just you cannot let them get the spikes up, and there's not a lot you can do. And now he's just going to get chipped and chipped.
yeah.
Frillish is
Good U-turn. I mean,
I mean, Frillish is probably not even necessary anymore.
well, if the Monfernos slack off, then you'd like it to just keep it at bay. But yeah,
You
with
think he's got
Toxic
no
and
priority?
Hazards, it's not impossible.
I think on a team with I think you would need some level of priority. Like if you look at LPZ's team, a well-placed shift tree is going to destroy it.
Yeah, maybe
I think you
I
need
guess
Mon.
could be not close combat, but that'd be crazy. I don't know. I don't actually expect it to be slack off. That's like the one instance where you're like, maybe I'd still like to keep the Frillish just for a bit of extra safety. But yeah,
I
do I
think the
consider that
fact that we are trying
likely?
to like make up excuses on how LPZ can win is
Yeah.
indicative of how the game is going right now.
Yeah, and that's interesting because like we both knew this team when we saw it. And I wonder
We
how
knew
much
enough, right? I respect that he switched some things, but
he did change some things, but the overall
Drudge
style
knows
is
what he's
very
doing.
much the same. It's not like for example, the hazard control situation is exactly the same. There's only one mon with a spikes immunity, and there's no removal. The defensive makeup is pretty similar, in fact, even worse to Semi Seer, so that's potentially not ideal. But I think the hazards is really the thing where maybe Drud saw what LPC liked and went, okay, if I just bring this kind of fat core, I'm probably going to lock in a good matchup. So I wonder if this was a case where just like reusing like this was a bad call.
Maybe, right? They probably went, let's go something comfortable. And you try to outplay a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. The Drud's bring seems like something I would at least respect from Drud. I've seen him bring some fats like this in Black White previously. Um,
for
and
sure.
spikes are just good. Spikes are good in general.
LPC gets a good stay in there, or maybe Drud was just sacking because Bronzor got crit and he wanted to keep it healthy. Yeah, that's more likely because Statlin's not switching out at that point. But he gets to pick up one KO. It means no more spikes, but also Maractus not a particularly valuable KO to pick up here. It's not really like doing anything to any of these guys. The only thing it could have done was just get more spikes up on Bronzor. So he's going to try Whiskash, which would that die to Grass Knot if this is not choiced? Probably. It would if this is Grass Knot Semi Seer and he hasn't clicks it, this should just drop. But I guess at this point you have to try.
There we go. Fighting gem for the
Okay.
Zweilous. I like that.
Yeah, for the Zweilous, which makes me think even more this is like counterstying this kind of LPZ team because it used to have a Zweilous. Um, also does like good damage to Monferno too. That was the other thing I was looking at before I decided on Acro Semiseer. Was like if you're already gonna run superpower, why not just fighting gem and drop aggro for something else? Like I think it's pretty good, and certainly in LBZ, very nice. That trick should seal it. I don't think flamethrower sweeps, but once you switch out once for Monferno to
Yeah,
get more
there's
chip,
just no coming back from this position.
yeah. So really, okay, he's not even gonna bother like switching and stuff because this is so free. You don't need semis here to do the sweeping.
Well, I think he knows that Xylis can just rest on the
Yeah,
Bronzor, and then that's a much, I guess, I don't know.
I
Things
think
could
you
go
you
terribly wrong, maybe.
switcheroo Bronzor here to just get like the absolute safest win. Or the fastest win rather, because it literally can't
Yeah, there
touch
you go.
Zweilis, but it can rest and make this take forever if he doesn't forfeit. So, um, very like I don't think Dredd made any misplays, but I don't think is like oh super well played either. This was just you loaded a really good matchup and you played it exactly how you should have. And I don't know, like I'm sure there was some stuff LPC could have done if he played really aggressively, like got a lot of perfect doubles or whatever, but this would have been a nightmare to win, honestly, with this bring.
Yeah, the team was always going to struggle into spikes, so a little bit of an uphill battle, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was what I expected when I saw the two teams a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Not terribly surprising for the matchup. Maybe not what people would have predicted for who would win this going into LPC Drud. But yeah, I would have loved to see something new from LPC here. So that is 1-0 to the Magmortars. We will have two more tiebreak games. I'm gonna forfeit. I'm just gonna skip. Okay, it's done. Yeah. That's 1-0 to the Magmortars. They're gonna have two more tiebreak games. I will try to catch at least one of them live as well, but we don't know when the other one was, or when the other one is. So we'll see. But thanks for joining me, Skrimps.
Of course, happy to be here.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. All right, hello everybody. I'm back. I'll probably put this next to the other tiebreak video. Just me for now, but we have tiebreak game number two, Sufis versus Cuse. Sufis is on the Gudras, who are down 0-1. Cuse is on the Magmortars because they are up because Drud already got that win, which will presumably be earlier in the same video. These are interesting because this team looks really familiar. Like really, really familiar. I'm trying to put it. I can't think exactly who or what. Maybe I've just seen from Cuse. Like, even if it's not the exact team, this is just like a really common hyper offense type thing with the Avalug, Double Fire, and Yuxi. And then these two can kind of be different things, but they're pretty common on hyper offense. So, very basic stuff. Sufis has balance looking to use P2, which is interesting because his dark resist slash knockoff switch-ins aren't very good. Like P2 is really weird here. But I do kind of like into hyper offense because it's just annoying. It doesn't immediately die to most things. It's not incredible in anything, but it's like nice utility overall. If it's the Trick Room set that I like to run, it could even be good, but that's another thing, and I don't. It kind of just looks like it'll be defensive here. Um, Yuxi could be really scary. If it, just Terra's out of being weak to Zoroark and Houndstone, potentially real annoying. But I think Sufis has like the tools for everything. For like your basic on paper sets, it just kind of depends on what weird things. So I think hyper offense does usually need weird differences in gimmicks and stuff to surprise the opponent, catch them off guard, whatever. And I'll be interested to see what Q's has there. That feels like it might be the difference maker, but it's not like the last set where I'm seeing a huge difference in matchup. I could see this going either way. It's just about correct positioning, really. Like, could Golurk do a lot? Yes. Could it also do nothing? Sure. Leading either Houndstone or Zoroark on this is kind of interesting. Okay, Faster Wisp missing definitely sucks. You don't want to have to waste time wisping again, and Q's could very easily go Arcanine, just keep this like full health sturdy and stuff. So that's 100% not what you want. Um, but it was also faster, which suggests this might be offensive Wisp. Yeah, Arcanine comes out. I don't know that I love Wisping again just because that felt so predictable, but you really do not want to take a Mountain Gale on your offensive Houndstone. Rough start though, because if that thing's sturdy is broken, that's the difference between like pivoting into Cramorant or Venusaur or a Spec Zoroark and just dying versus getting the sturdy Custap again. So really, really useful. Like if your Avalugg does anything beyond rocks and dying, it's already awesome. And or just double straight back into it because you know Sufis is forced into a defensive option. That's fine. He could have gone cram, but because he went right on, this is great. There's no ice resist. Not burning that is just so tragic. Yeah, this looks rough already. Because what do you do? Do you just go hard cram? Cramorant could be fine. Like defensive should be faster. But it's good. But like you do get 2 KO'd by Mountain Gale, so you're kind of just forced to roost and let Q's do whatever. Yeah, that wispness might have just knocked Goodrus out. Like, holy. Okay, you go cram and dodge. That's really good for getting back into the game. Cuse is one water resistance Brute Bonnet who's not like lovely into cram, but can definitely pivot in here. Like if Bonnet just dies, chipping it down, that'd be fine. Um, if it can do that. We don't know what the Bonnet set is. It's probably just basic booster. Oh, leaves Avalugg in just for like damage because you're gonna go down and not give him a chance to roost. That's fine. Cram's really annoying. You want that damage, like you you get all this extra mileage out after that wisp miss. Uh, I talked about like positioning. You want to be the one in advantage in these kind of matchups. This is where hyper offense does the best, where you start out with a lead and you just do not let your foot off the gas. So really, really not good for Sufis. As looks like right on is the Salazzle switch and the Arcanine switch. No poison. That would have been really big, getting some fast chip. Um, on hyper offense, I like Sash Endeavor. That would like only 50-50 here. If you just go down to Sash, then Houndstone could potentially come in on Endeavor and like sneak you. Terra Grass is also a thing. But if I'm Cuse, I don't commit to any of those. I just go hard into Bonnet here. Maybe if you're Sash, you just want to taunt to stop rocks going up. But yeah, Bonnet, even Golurk, I just kind of keep because Salazzle's just nicely threatening. I don't know that you want to mess around too much, but whatever play I say or suggest could 100% be wrong. It's really just down to like, do you get the right? Yeah, okay, and we get the Terra Grass. So commits really early to the Terra, which could make Yuxi a lot less useful. Definitely going to be weak to Zoroark and Houndstone. Curse Arcanine, it doesn't really need the Terra Normal here. Uh, the question is, what is Sufi's going to do about this? Since, well, surely Porygon 2 is the check, right? Surely that's good here? I don't know what else he's doing. Um, yeah, no Terra could hurt Yuxi, but no one else super needed it. I guess Terra Poison Bonnet kind of broke this team. Um, unless Houndstone has faster Wisp, I guess. That'd be that. If it hits. Um, Sufi's thinking a lot though for what seems like a pretty forced P2, unless that's like Scarf U-turn Zoroark, like physical Scarf. U-turn doesn't even KO those. I wouldn't love that play. Um, maybe he's checking if Cram lives, but that'd have to be a pretty spadef Cram to live a hit fear from like 33. Yeah. Cram's just not doing a lot right now. It's too low and it shouldn't be living anything here to get to heal up. It's basically just death fodder, which just sucks so hard. Okay, hard Venusaur. Surely this is Zoroark, right? You're not gonna like Terra Water just to beat the last one. What the? Why? For what reason? Yeah, that's not a roll. I have no idea what the thought process there was. Maybe he's like P2 is the win con. I don't want to get like toxic or endeavored or something because this is some kind of trick room. Okay. Red card. Really interesting for hyper offense. Just see that's like one of those gimmicks I was talking about to just pull the momentum in your favor. Usually it's a set, but in this case just like the item, and I love that. And that's such a bad Leaf Storm miss. Because you got to imagine this was going to eject pack out into Houndstone and then just sneak in, not have to worry. But now you got to just sack your cram, and even then, Houndstone not going to KO with Sneak, and it's slower, so you don't love taking that hit, man. Sufi's just getting like horrendous luck here. This sucks so hard. I don't get why he sacked Zoroark. That hurt extra hard here. Like having a Zoroark right now would be a huge difference maker. Uh, like play wise, it could be cleaner, but also, man, the luck has been atrocious, and Sax Venusaur still preserving Cram. I guess with two fire types around, kind of that you got to try, but this is looking devastating. Okay, that did 38, doesn't even recover. Um, does live at least, but yeah, okay, so this isn't the win con. This is over. Arcanine is probably banded, and just Flare Blitzes until it wins. Uh, oh, or it's like non-choice wild, yeah. Man, the RNG here just absolutely screwing Sufi's. That sucks so hard. Uh, like I don't know how much he could have done here with that start, and the Leaf Storm mist like extra sealed it, but the start plus the Zoroark dying. So that's Magmortar's going to finals. Our top two teams, like there was a big playoffs race for the bottom two playoff slots, but the top two teams were pretty locked in and way in the lead and doing much better, and they're out first in tie breaks. They both got 2-0'd, I believe. So congratulations to the Magmortars. We're getting a Magmortars Kingpins final. It's going to be really fascinating. We'll see how long it takes me to grab the software to actually put these videos together because I think I lost my editing software, but hopefully I get these up in a timely manner and we'll see if we can get any live recordings on the finals. But hope you guys enjoyed these really brief ones. And I guess we'll see you for some final stuff.